time for Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner's rabbit business is flourishing beyond their fondest expectations. Although they haven't realized any revenue from them as yet, they are multiplying so fast it's become a serious problem how to feed them and where to put them. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner down at the Jot 'em Down store seriously discussing their predicament. Cedric is back in the feed room. Listen.
Yeah, we got to do something about it, Abner. That's all there are to it. Our store business, it just went down something wonderful.
Oh, we ain't doing no business here in the store at all. But our rabbits is increasing every day.
Yeah, eventually we're going to make some money out of these rabbits, all right. But we got to make some money out of something to pay for their feed. The only way I know to do it is out of the store business, unless we had a gold mine.
Yeah, we can't make no money on the amount of business we're doing here lately, I'll tell you that.
That's what I say. Something's got to be done. Folks don't like to trade in here when all they can see is rabbits. Shelves full of rabbits, pens full of rabbits, rabbits running all over the store. Got to where you can't move nothing around here without a rabbit hopping out from behind it.
Well, you just can't help it, Lum. Every time you open the door to feed 'em, why, one of them little rascals scoots out past you in spite of all you can do.
Yeah, we got to get 'em out of here, that's the thing. Some of the women customers is afraid of 'em. One of 'em run out from under behind that cracker barrel this morning. The widow Abernathy stood flat-footed and jumped clean up on that counter there.
Yeah, I seen her. Well, I've had 2 or 3 customers tell me they weren't going to trade here till we got shut of them rabbits.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we got to move 'em. That's all we are to it.
Whereabouts we going to put 'em, though?
Well, that's sort of what I wanted to talk to you about. I reckon you've got room for 'em over there at your place.
My place? What's the matter with your place?
Oh, there ain't nothing to feed 'em over there. You've got some crops in over there at your place.
Not me. Elizabeth has. You know dad blame well she ain't going to get out there in that hot sun and plow half a day at a time and then feed the crops to the rabbits.
Half a day at a time?
Yeah, that's just about all she has time for, she says. Again, she gets in from the field and gets the house straightened up and the milking and churning done. Gets the stock and chickens fed and the wood chopped and supper ready for me while the day's gone. I don't know what goes with her time. Just don't know.
Well, you got to recollect, Abner, Elizabeth ain't as young as she used to be. Ain't as agile.
No, she ain't. I just noticed the other day. I was sitting there on the front porch watching her out there in the yard chopping wood. She can't even handle an axe like she used to.
Well, natural she can't at her age.
She'd take 3 or 4 licks at a stick of wood there. She ought to cut in 2 in 1 lick. I just got to feeling so sorrowful for her, and I finally just got up and went out there and taken the axe away from her and told her to sit down and rest herself till I sharpened it for her.
Well, that was mighty thoughty of you.
And on the other hand now, I believe she's got as good a crop this year as I've ever saw her put in.
Did she raise any alfalfa this year?
Oh, law me, I don't know, Lum. I never butt into her business. Got a good stand of corn, though. I was sitting on the fence looking over the field Sunday. She's got as fine a field of corn as a crow ever flew over.
Well.
And I told her so, too.
Well, good for you. You ought to brag on her more, Abner.
Well, I can't too much, Lum. It just embarrasses the life out of her for me to say nice things like that about her. Her face gets red, and she twists and squirms, eyes puddle up. She just can't stand for me to brag on her.
Well, she appreciates it, though.
Oh, yeah. She's always writing her folks and tell them how well I've done on my farm over there.
How well you've done?
Yeah.
I wish she had room for them rabbits. She'd be a good one to look after them.
Yeah. I just don't believe she's got time for them, old Lum.
Wait a minute. Granny's, I've got an idea.
Huh?
Yonder comes Grandpappy Spears. Maybe he's got room for him over there at his place.
Yeah, now his woman's got a good garden. I don't know what she's got in it.
Maybe we can make a deal with him on a credit till we sell the rabbits.
Yeah, that's a good
Don't
idea.
let on now.
No.
He don't know what he's getting into. Come in, Grandpap.
Howdy, Grandpa.
Well, howdy, Ben. Howdy.
Have a chair. Set yourself down.
Yeah, thank you, Abner. Hot out.
Oh, yes, it is. You feeling as good as you want to, Grandpa?
Well, I don't know. I'm just only tolerably, Abner.
Well,
Sort of like water in a barrel, just sloshing around here and yonder.
uh-huh.
Hey, say, you fellas is really getting the rabbits, ain't you?
Yeah, we wanted to talk to you about that, Grandpap. See if we couldn't make some kind of a deal with you to take care of them for us over there at your place.
Oh, law me, Lum, I don't know nothing about rabbits. No, I wouldn't want to fool with them.
Well, we've got to move them out of the store here, and we just ain't got no place to put them.
Yeah, if we just had a little parcel of ground around here someplace, we could keep the rabbits on it and raise feed for them both.
Yeah, that'd be the thing. Yeah, sure.
Hey, why don't you fellas buy some of that tax property they're selling tomorrow?
What tax property?
Well, they're selling a delinquent property, and they're at the county seat tomorrow.
I never know nothing about it.
Me neither.
Is there anything around here listed?
Oh, my, yeah, a lot of places.
Well,
Yeah, the old Corny Struby place down there, across from Jim Collins's, his for sale.
well, they
Seen it on
paid
the-
an awful big price for that property. They bought it during the boom here, you know.
Yeah, he always bought stuff at the higher prices. I heard him say that.
Yeah, Corny would do it every time.
And there's the old Professor Hinkle place on the list. That's got alfalfa done planted on it, too. Just what you're needing.
Yeah, I know that place. Granny says a house and some barns on that, ain't there?
Yeah, I don't know how good shape they're in, though. Ain't nobody lived on the place since the old man passed on about 3 years ago.
I reckon how come they ain't paid taxes on it?
Why, he left it to a brother of his over in one of them fern country summers. I just reckon he figured it weren't worth paying taxes on. I don't know.
Did that list in the paper say how much it was getting the place, Grandpap?
Yeah, I believe it did, Lum, but I don't recollect for sure what it was. Believe it said $24, so.
Why, that's just like stealing it.
Stealing it? Well, we better just leave it alone then.
I mean, it's so cheap.
I don't care what it is. Stealing is stealing. Just as bad to steal a nickel as it is $1. Right now.
I know that, Abner.
Well, that makes it that much worse than stealing and knowing you're doing it.
I mean, if we can get that piece of
You
property...
ought to be ashamed of yourself, Lum and Abner.
I ain't gonna steal no property. How could I steal a farm?
I don't know. Now, don't try to get me to tell you how to do it. You could haul it off a truckload at a time, but I don't know where you'd put it. If you had a farm to put it on, you wouldn't need nothing. It's no use to stack them on top of one another.
Well, will you shut up? I'm trying to figure out some way to pay for this.
Well, that's better. I'm glad you changed your mind. I might have saved you some real trouble there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, more than likely. They have to have the cash on them delinquent tax sales right at the time, don't they, Grandpap?
Oh, yeah, it's got to be spot cash.
Granny, who's got that kind of money around here?
Cedric's got better than $40, Lum.
Hi, Granny's, I never thought about him. Yeah, Cedric's her man. Is he still back in the feed room?
I reckon so. He was a while ago.
Wait a minute. Cedric? Cedric, come on up to the front.
Bob? Come on up here. We want to talk to you, Cedric.
Just let me handle it, Abner. I'll talk him into it.
Yeah.
Well, here, you feller. I've got to get on back to the place. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, so long, Grandpap.
Yeah, much obliged for telling us about that place, Grandpap.
Not at all. I'm not. I just hope you fellas get it.
Oh, sit down, Cedric. Sit down.
Yes, Mom. What was you on with me, Mr. Lum? Why, Cedric, did you ever think about going into the real estate business? What kind of business is that, Mr. Lum? Buying property, farms, and stuff like that. Grandpap was just telling us that the old Professor Hinkle place is selling tomorrow into county seat, just for the taxes.
$24.
Yeah. And we thought maybe you'd like to put up the money and go in with us and buy it. No, Mom, I don't much believe I would.
Oh.
See, we figured we could put all the rabbits over there.
Yeah, there's a crop of alfalfa on it, and it ain't been cut in 2 years. It'd be good feed.
Yes, Mom. And I was thinking if you and Clarabelle ever gets married, and why, you and her could live over there.
Sure.
We wouldn't charge you a nickel rent. And it's put a nice little house on it. You could fix it up with honeysuckles over the door and flowers in the yard and all that stuff.
All the flower beds outlined with snuff bottles. Look awful pretty, Cedric.
Sounds good, all right.
Good swept front yard. She could fix it up awful nice.
I can see her now, you coming home from work. Her running down the path to meet you, love in her eyes and a basket of roses under her arm.
And you can have a third interest in it just for paying the taxes, Cedric.
Yeah, what do you think about it now, Cedric?
Well, it sounds pretty good to me, all right.
Granny, I knowed I could make it sound good to you.
Well, you sure did. Made it sound so good, I think I'll just go in there and buy it for myself. I'll be back after a while. I want to go tell Clarabelle about it.
That's our ring. Time for Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, when Lum and Abner tried to interest Cedric in advancing the money to buy a farm on which to put their rabbits, maybe they were too enthusiastic about it. After hearing the advantages of the place and that it could be acquired by merely paying the delinquent taxes, Cedric decided to purchase the farm for himself. The old fellows are rather put out at Cedric and are still faced with the problem of what to do with the rabbits. As we look in on the little community today, Cedric has gone into the county seat, and we find Lum seated at his desk down at the store, reading the paper, while Abner and Grandpappy Spears are engaged in a heated game of checkers. Listen.
I see here where Berthy Lunsford's going to get married.
Why, she just got married about a year ago. Married that Farnsworth boy over at Cherry Hill.
Must have separated him then, for she's marrying him again.
Well, I do know. Must have patched up their troubles. It's your move, Grandpa.
I know it. Don't rush me, Abner.
Well, you been an hour making up your mind.
Well, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't no hurry.
For goodness sakes.
Well, I do know. Grandma Wilkins fell out of the wagon and broke her hip.
Broke her hip?
I reckon so. That's what it says here.
Well, she's just now getting to where she can get around from the last time she fell out of the wagon. Still on crutches.
Yeah, she's getting too old to be climbing in out of them wagons anyway. They're going to have to put some boards up there and skid her in and out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I believe I'll move right there, Abner.
Oh, no, you don't. No, sir. That's one of my men you're moving there.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. Now, let's see, is this man a king here?
Of course not. How could he be and be that far from my king roll?
Well, I can ask, Tina.
Well, you're going to have to give me a man now. Just ain't no way out of it.
Yeah, let me study here.
Go ahead. Take your time.
Grannies, I don't know what a feller do without the newspaper. Keep up with the times.
No. What else is new, Lum?
Oh, a lot of interesting items. Reading advertisements, too.
Well?
See here where the bridge went out over at Briar Creek?
Well, I do know. I ain't surprised, though. I told them when it washed out last year that they ought to raise it.
Cedric will more likely have trouble getting into town today. Have to ford the creek.
Yeah. More likely that's why he's so late getting back.
Yeah, I don't care whether he ever gets back or not. That ornery, low-down trick he pulled on us. After us telling him about that piece of property, he goes down there and buys it for himself.
Yeah. Well, move, Grandpa.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Abner, I had a move all studied out here, and you hollered and scared it out of my head.
Well, make up your mind. Move one of them.
Granny, they got your name in the paper, Grandpa.
Huh?
Says here, Milford Spears left today for an extended visit with his daughter in Kansas City. Oh, for goodness sakes. That was a year ago last April when I went up there.
Yeah, I reckon they just now heard about it.
Yeah, they're awful far behind with their news, I'll say that for them.
Look here. Old man Alf Anderson died.
Again?
Again?
Well, he died last spring. They buried him anyway.
Now, Granny's, wait a minute. April the 26th, 1940. Where did this paper come from?
That's the one I had wrapped around that jar of preserves I brung down to you, ain't it, Lum?
For goodness sake. That's a gooder than me. Now I don't know what's news and what ain't. Now, I thought that was sort of odd when I read them headlines about the Democratic convention to be held in Chicago to nominate the candidate for president.
Move, Grandpap.
Oh, me. What's the matter, Grandpap? You got you cornered there?
Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to give up a man there, Lum. Just been trying to figure out which one I'd rather lose. Yeah, I believe I'll give you this one right here, Abner.
Lum, you stay out of there.
I never said nothing.
You Daddy.
Well, that ain't cheating, Abner.
Well, if he's gonna for you, he's got to for me, too.
All right. If you're going to argue, I just won't for neither one of you.
Yeah, now, see there, Smarty? Go on and move.
Well, I'll move this here right here.
Lum, stay out of this, I said.
I never heard.
Well, no, but he was going to move right where I want him to, and you him out of it.
Him out of it? What kind of talk's that?
Well, whatever you call that noise you was making.
Go ahead. I ain't going to bother neither one of you.
Well, I'm going to just move that now anyway, Abner.
Wait a minute.
Lum, I told you to stay out of this now.
I weren't talking to him. I meant, wait a minute, there's Cedric getting out of that mail hack over yonder in front of Dick Huddleston's store.
Oh.
They must not have had no trouble fording Briar Creek.
Huh?
Nothing. Forgot. Last year's paper.
Oh.
All right, there she is moved. Go ahead and take that man.
Well, wait a minute now. Just let me look this thing over here first.
Well, you ain't got but one move. You got to take a jump.
Let me see here. That blamed if that Lum ain't and ummed you into the only move you could make, it would have saved you.
Wonder if he got that farm, Cedric.
I hope he never. Wouldn't let us go in with him on it. Try to take it all for himself.
Yeah, I never admired the altitude he'd taken on that one bit. We told him about the place going to sell for the taxes and how we needed it for the rabbits and all. He ought to have been thought enough to let us go in with him on it.
Why, sure. That blamed snake in the weeds.
The boy's getting awful missionary here lately. All he thinks about is money.
Yeah. He's coming over here, see him? Coming across the street. Let's just ignore him.
Yeah, let him know just how we feel about him.
Sure.
Well, it's your move, Abner.
Well, quit pestering me, Grandpap. I'll move when I get good and ready.
Well, go on. I can't sit here all afternoon waiting for you to make up your mind.
Get out, then. Get out. I don't care.
Well, go ahead.
All right, then.
Quit talking so much and pay attention to what you're doing.
Mom, talk to me. I want talking. See here, what ought I to do?
Look at old Cedric Strut. He thinks he's pulled a smart one now, don't he?
Yeah, that's his Paul Sunday suit he's got on there.
Yeah, I know it.
Move, Abner.
Grandpap, why don't you stay home if you can't take time enough to play a game?
Well, I've got to get home directly. My nice supper time. Been on this game for 4 hours.
You ought to have thought about that when it was your move.
I did. That's the reason I moved so quick.
Oh, quick nothing. Sit here for
Here he comes. Don't let on.
Oh, don't say nothing, Grandpa.
Whoa, howdy. Well, howdy, fellas.
Did you buy the farm, Mr. Weehunt?
Oh, yes, Mom. Got the papers right here.
Yeah, I figured you would. How much was the taxes again it?
Taxes was $24 and 4 bits for a deed.
Well, personal, I wouldn't have the place.
No, me neither.
Well, I wanted to tell you fellas what I done.
We ain't interested in hearing it.
No.
Well, Just wanted you to know.
I told you, Cedric, we ain't interested in nothing you've got to say, not a thing.
No, you fixed yourself with us for all time to come.
Yes, sir, you sure did.
Well, I got to studying about it going into town this
Of course,
morning.
we can't run you out of here because you've got an interest in the store. But you ain't wanted around here. I'll tell you that right now. You ain't welcome.
Well, I feared you fellas would be mad at me.
Well, why wouldn't we be mad? We needed that farm for our rabbits, and you knowed it. Then you slipped in there and bought it for yourself. That's what you done.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I had that deed made out to all three of us.
Well, it's too late now. We found... Huh? You done what?
There's the deed right there. We all three own it. Lum and Abner Peabody and Cedric Wehunt. Says it right on the deed there.
Well, I'll be dead plain.
What's that, Mom?
Cedric bought the farm for all three of us.
All three of us?
Didn't I tell you he was all right fellow? A body could depend on him? Granny, thank you, Cedric. Let me shake your hand.
Thank you.
That's the best news we've had in weeks.
Well, I expect I better get on over to the place and let the folks know I'm back.
Yeah, your folks might be worried about you, Cedric. Did you have any trouble crossing Briar Creek?
Well,
nothing. Just nothing. Much obliged to you again.
Yes, Mom, not at all. Glad we got it. Well, I'll see you fellas in the morning.
Yeah, all right, Cedric.
Yeah, so long. Granny, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. There goes the finest boy ever raised in Pine Ridge.
Yes, he is. Fine boy.
Well, move, Abner. Dad, blame it, move.
Say, here's the timely suggestion which Lum and Abner have asked me to make to all you mothers and dads who have sons in the service. Now, you want that son of yours to have as many of the conveniences of home as he can while he's in the service, don't you? Well, then the next time you send him a box of good things to eat and smokes, be sure to tuck in a package or two of Alka-Seltzer tablets. If you'll just do this, then you'll have the peace of mind that comes with knowing that he's ready for quick relief for headaches, for acid indigestion, for aching muscles, and other similar common ailments, just as he would be if he were at home. Your son will really appreciate your thoughtfulness, because even if the camp authorities are taking every precaution to make sure he's well cared for, there are bound to be times when he'll need the quick relief that Alka-Seltzer offers. And he can't just walk out to the nearest drugstore to get a package, as you can. So remember, the next time you send your son, your nephew, or your grandson in service a box of good things, be sure to put in an ample supply of Alka-Seltzer tablets. I'll bet he'll write by return mail to thank you for your thoughtfulness. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner and Cedric now own the Professor Hinkledorf property, having purchased it at a delinquent tax sale for the paltry sum of $24. They plan to use the buildings on the farm to house their ever-increasing stock of rabbits, and hope to grow enough alfalfa on the place to feed them. As we look in on the little community today, we find the threesome over at their newly acquired property, inspecting it for the first time. Listen.
Yeah, this is the kitchen. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good stove there.
Yes, it's a wonder somebody never stole it. Been sitting here for 2 years.
Well, folks around here is pretty good about that, Cedric. Never bother other folks' property.
Well, sir, I believe we made a pretty good deal, Mr. Lum.
Oh, my, yes. Furniture in this house here is worth more than we give for the whole farm. House needs a little fixing up, but naturally it would be sort of run down, nobody looking after it for a couple of years.
Everything on the place goes with it, huh?
Yeah, bought it for the taxes. That's the way Uncle Henry Lunsford bought that place of his over across the river. And that's one of the best farms in this place.
I want to show you something here.
What is it?
Was that there Professor Hinkledorf a doctor?
Not that I know of. Why?
Yeah, well, come here and look. He must have been in awful poor health before he passed on then. There's a whole little room full of medicine in here. Looky here.
Medicine?
Yeah, look in there.
Well, I do know.
Let me see.
Quit shaving, Cedric. That ain't medicine, Abner.
Huh?
Oh, this is more likely where the professor done his inventing. He was a scientific, you know. At least that's what everybody said.
Well, there's lots of folks that said that he weren't just right in his head, neither, Lum.
Oh, he was a curious sort of a fellow, all right, but smart as a whip.
Funniest looking bottles I ever seen.
Yeah, that's what they pour all them different things in. Then see what happens. And is there something I always wanted to be, is a scientific.
Well?
And I believe I had a turn for that, too, if I'd have just set my head and studied it.
Yeah, well, now, I wouldn't mess with that stuff, Lum. Might be some kind of acid there and burn yourself.
I ain't gonna get none on me. H2SO4. I reckon what that is.
What?
This bottle of Hatusaphore, I reckon you'd pronounce it.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm glad we found all this stuff. I might make a scientific out of myself yet. Try a few experiments.
Well, now, you better get somebody out here to tell you what all that stuff is, Lum, before you start fooling around with it.
HCl. This stuff looks good enough to drink.
Well, I wouldn't try none of it.
I never said I was going to drink none of it. I just said it looks good enough to drink.
Well, now, you oughtn't to say that in front of Cedric, Lum. He ain't got no more sense than to try it.
Bob?
Nothing, Cedric. Just leave this stuff alone in here.
Oh, my goodness. This big bottle's full of H2O, whatever that spells.
Well, set it down, Lum. Easy. There's enough in there to blow this whole place up.
Yeah, I've just got a notion that's powerful stuff there, that H2O. I've heard that name before someplace. Wished he'd have wrote the names on these labels to where we could read them.
Well, he was a foreigner of some kind. Maybe he couldn't write in American.
Here's a bottle of Dangaroos, whatever that is. Ain't none used out of it.
Here, let me see, Cedric. Oh, dangerous is what that says. That's more likely poison, too.
Yeah, see. Pitch it here, Abner.
Yeah, here.
Oh, I said pitch it, not throw it.
I just want to see if you was a good ball player. That's a good catch you made there, Lum.
Nitroglycerin. If I'd have missed that then, we'd have broke the whole bottle. And there ain't been a drop used out of it, neither. Better put it up. Here, Cedric. Put it back on that shelf till we find out what it's for. Here.
Careful, Cedric. Get it.
Almost dropped it there once.
Oh, well, it wouldn't hurt so much if you did, I reckon. I see another bottle of it sitting up there. We wouldn't have been out.
Well, Grannies, I'm a good mind to bring an egg beater over here with me tomorrow and just pour a little out of every one of these bottles in together and mix it all up just to see what I invent.
Well, I don't know how you know what it was after you done it.
Try it out and find.
Well, I ain't going to drink nothing that you mixed up, Lum.
Cedric, put that down.
Well, I ain't going to drink it. Don't hurt to just smell it, does it? Oh. Stuff hurts to smell. Hurt me clean up in my head.
Well...
Let's see. Oh, no wonder. That's ammonia. That don't hurt you.
Yes, it will, too. I might not have died from it once. I had double ammonias.
That was pneumonia you had.
Oh, this is the old kind, huh?
This is ammonia. Folks smells this when they faint.
Well, I fainted once, and I never smelt none of it.
Oh, for goodness sake. Cedric, put that down. You better just get on out of here. You got no business messing around with this stuff unless you know something about scientifics.
You go on out and look the rest of the place over, Cedric, and see what else we got in on a deal. Look everything over good.
Yes, Mom.
See if you can find some place to put the rabbits.
Well, there's a barn out there. I'll look at it.
Yeah, well, that ought to make a good place, Cedric. That'll be the place for him. Build some pens there in the barn.
Anything to get him out of here.
Yeah, he's a nuisance hanging around in here.
Yeah, I was scared to death he dropped that bottle of nitroglycerin a minute ago. Cut his hand.
Yeah, might have. You ought not to have thrown it at him so hard.
What's this?
I don't know. Don't it say on there?
Yeah, it says dangerous. Don't mix with water.
Wonder what it do.
I don't know, but I don't see how water could hurt it.
Why, me neither. Little water never hurt nothing. But I reckon it must have, or he wouldn't have put that warning on there.
Hey, I'm just curious to try that and see what would happen. I wish they wouldn't put signs like that on bottles. Things like that just tempt me. I just got a hankering to see what's in there.
Well, now, put it down, Lum. Don't fool with it. Might ruin it to put water in there, weaken it.
Yeah, might. But I'd still love to find out. Just 'cause they put that sign on there not to do it, I reckon. Just like putting up a sign, fresh paint, don't touch. I'll touch it every time. Just can't keep my fingers off of it.
Yeah, fella will.
You know.
Down there at Moe's Mooch's barber shop, they just ruined that barber pole of his. Put on one coat of paint there, never put no sign on it. They never bothered it, and then put on a second coat and put a sign up there, wet paint, don't touch, and they just ruined it. What they done.
Had to paint it over. Leave the sign off.
Yeah, sure, that's funny-looking stuff here. Reckon what this is, Lum, here.
Strychnine.
Huh?
Don't eat none of that. I know that's poison.
It is.
Yeah, better set that thing up on the shelf or Cedric won't get in it. He might think it's powdered sugar or something. Eat a bait of it.
Yeah, well, if you want my notions, Lum, I believe we better put a lock on this door and just keep him out of here is what we better do with Cedric, 'cause you know that boy, he's the curiousest one human that ever drove there.
Might get in here and drink some of it and make yourself sick.
Oh, he'll drink or eat anything he can get in his mouth, you know, Cedric.
Listen, I just love to be in a place like this and tinker around with pour stuff together.
Yeah, well, don't start pouring nothing together. Just put that cart back in that bottle now, Lum.
I'm just still curious about this stuff in here.
Just put the bottle down and leave it alone. You're looking at that thing on fire like a bird dog on a covey of birds.
Don't mix with water. Now, I reckon why. Just give me one reason.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about such as that at all.
Got that don't written big letters. Don't mix with water. I'd give $500 if I had it just to put a little water in there and see what would happen. Curiosity, I reckon, but I can't help it. Don't mix with water. Granny.
Wait a minute. Was that Cedric?
Mr. Lum, Mr. Abner, come out here quick.
Oh, my goodness, reckon what's happened now?
I don't know, better get out there quick. No telling what he's in.
I'm coming, Cedric. I'm coming. Well, where are you, Cedric? What's the matter?
Come here quick, Mr. Abner. I want to show you something here in the barn.
Well, what is it?
We got an automobile, too.
An automobile?
Mom, come here and look in the shed. It's a sedan, too.
Well, good for us.
Tires is all flat, but outside of that, it looks pretty good.
All right, doggy, we're finding more stuff around here. We did make a good buy when we got this place, you know.
Yes, Mom, we sure did. There it is, sitting right there.
Well, what do you know about that?
I never even known it went with the place.
Why, no. That'll be just the thing to haul the rabbits around in, you know what, Cedric?
Yes, Mom.
Build a little old truck body of some kind on there to haul them.
Oh, I'd rather leave it like it is. I love them sedans.
Oh, it's awful pretty. Yeah, it's awful
I'll fix
pretty.
it up when I get time. Buy some second-hand cars somewhere.
Saxon. Saxon. Them's pretty good cars, ain't they, Cedric?
I don't know. That's the first one I ever seen. Looks pretty good, though.
Well, sir, I recollect now seeing the professor driving around in this. I know we can use it to deliver groceries at the store, too, Cedric. Oh, my goodness, what was that?
Sounded like an explosion. Wait a minute. Look up at the house, Mr. Abner. Smoke coming out of the windows up there.
Oh, my goodness. Come on quick, Cedric. I ought to have had more sense than to leave Lum in there by himself. I might have known he'd try it.
Well, there's one thing sure. Even with all their ups and downs, Lum and Abner seem to get a lot of fun out of life.
That's our ring. Time for Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. While inspecting the recently acquired Professor Hinkledorf property, Lum and Abner discovered a room full of chemicals, evidently where the old professor had been conducting his experiments. Lum was especially fascinated by the laboratory and proceeded to make a few experiments of his own. The last we heard was a terrific explosion. As we're looking on the little community today, we find Grandpappy Spears over at the Jot 'em Down store discussing the catastrophe with Abner. Listen.
Oh, I thought he was a goner. Sure, you never heard such an explosion in your life, Grandpa.
Well, I never have found out what it was exploded, Abner.
Well, we ain't neither. We don't know what it was. See, we was over there looking at place over that we bought for the taxes. Used to belong to old Professor Hinkledorf.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, well, he was an inventor, scientific, I believe Lum says.
Oh, yeah, he was an awful peculiar sort of a feller, I know that.
Yeah, well, we found a room where he done his inventing. All kinds of bottles of different kinds of stuff sitting around on the shelves, and
Yeah.
Lum got to examining them. Found this one bottle that had "Don't mix with water" wrote on it. And you know Lum, how curious he is. Nothing would do till he tried it.
He mixed it, huh?
Yeah. I was down at the barn with Cedric when it happened. We heard the explosion, run up to the house. Found Lum stretched out there in the dining room just as cold as a cucumber.
Well, I do know. Why, I wonder it never killed him.
It would have if he hadn't been standing right in the door. Blowed him into the next room.
Well,
Oh, he was terrible addled for an hour or two there as it was. Burned his mustache nearly all. Singed his eyebrows, eyelashes clean off.
well, did he tear up the house much?
No, see, he taken this bottle of stuff back to the kitchen to get some water, and that's where it happened. Blowed the cook stove around toward the cattywampus, knocked the stovepipe down, got soot all over the kitchen.
Well, yeah, maybe that'll learn him not to meddle with things he don't know nothing about.
Oh, he's worse than ever now. He thinks he's a martyr to scientifics.
Thinks he's a what?
Martyr? What he calls himself. Says he's a hero because he might not give his life to science.
Well, he done that all right.
But you can holler, "Don't mix with water" at him. He'll try to crawl under something.
Oh, yeah. Rainstorm now, scare him to death.
Well, he thinks it's the water that done it. I believe it was that stuff in the bottle.
Why, sure it was. What was this stuff anyway?
We don't know. All it said on the bottle was "Don't mix with water." But I don't think that was the name of it. There's lots of other stuff over that we don't know the name of neither.
Now, see, that was a pretty good buy you made on that place, Abner.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you, there was an automobile out in the barn. We get that, too.
An automobile?
Yes, sir. Some new make I never heard of before. Saxon. Got the name wrote right there on it, Saxon.
Well, you did get a bargain.
Yeah, of course, it needs new tires and a little fixing up, Cedric says. Ain't been drove since the professor passed on over 2 years ago.
Well, Lum, if I'd have known all that stuff went with the place, I'd have...
Yonder comes Lum now.
Is that Lum?
Yeah, he's wearing them dark glasses. Feels self-unconscious about his eyelashes being singed off.
Yeah, natural. Reckon where he's going with that hand satchel. He ain't leaving town, is he?
I hope not. There's much work as we've got to do around here. Trying to get them pens built for the rabbits over there at the new place and running the store here, too.
Yeah, well, whereabouts are the rabbits?
Oh, they're over at the place, all right, but we just got them turned loose in the barn.
Well, howdy, Lum. Howdy.
Come in, Lum.
Abner, did you tell Grandpa?
Huh?
You know what they call me?
Oh, I call him Professor, Grandpa.
Professor? You ain't teaching school now, too, are you, Lum?
Scientific is a professor, Grandpa.
Oh, one of them kind. Professor Eddard. Sounds funny.
What's so funny about it?
Well, just so used to calling you Lum, so.
Oh? Yeah, well, you don't have to call me Professor Eddard, Grandpa. I've knowed you so long you can just call me Professor Lum.
Yeah.
Ain't got nothing you want invented today, have you, Grandpa?
No, I reckon not. Why?
Well, I'm in that business now. Think of anything, let me know.
Yeah, I'll give you all my business, Lum, if I have any. Blamed if you don't look like a picked goose with that mustache there blowed off.
Well, what you got in the hand?
Now, don't you start on my mustache. I've heard that all day. What?
What you got there in that hand satchel?
Oh, bunch of scientifics.
What?
Oh, different things. A bunch of that H2Os and HCLs, one thing and another.
Don't feel like nothing's in here.
Put that down, Abner.
There ain't nothing in it, and you know it.
Well, them fellers down around the barber shop don't know it. Scared the daylights out of that Mose Mooch a while ago.
You did?
I told him this bag was full of H2O, and if he didn't quit joshing me about my mustache being blowed off, I was going to throw it down right there on the floor and blow that whole barber shop up. He hashed up, too.
I reckon he figured you wouldn't have no more sense than to do it after what just happened to you.
Yeah, that's all everybody's talking about. Had folks stop on the street today and talk to me about that. Ain't spoke to me for months.
Well.
Yeah, I reckon I'm sort of a hero.
Well, I don't know why they'd make a hero out of you.
I almost laid down my life for scientifics. What do you want a fella to do, get plumb killed?
Well, I mean, you ain't actually invented nothing yet, Lum.
What was that I just done, that explosion?
Was that an invent?
I reckon so. I never done it before. The Edwards explosion, I'm going to call it, I think. Well, what are you going to do with it, Lum, after you invent it? Professor Lum, I mean. Now that you got it, what are you going to do with it? I don't know. That ain't for me. I invent them. Let somebody else figure out what they're for. Well, how does a feller like you go about figuring out what they invent? I don't know, Grandbaby. It's just a gift, I reckon. My mind's just going a mile a minute all the time, figuring out stuff. Like right now. I was just looking up there on them shelves. I'm a good mind to take home a can of them peaches and a can of them tomatoes tonight and just mix them up together. See what I invent.
Well, I don't see how that'd help any.
Yeah, I might come out with a new vegetable. Professor Eddard's famous peach-maters. Or, toe peaches, could call it.
Yeah.
That'd work out all right if the thing never exploded on me.
Oh, well, that wouldn't explode. Mixing tomatoes and peaches together.
You can't tell. I never thought just mixing a little water with something would hurt anything either till I tried it. I found out you got to be careful with this mixing stuff together.
Yeah, but the first thing you better invent is a way to invent without getting close to it.
That ain't a bad idea. I'll study about that, too. Well, can't you invent without mixing stuff together? Oh, yeah, I could, I reckon. Only thing, all them kind of invents has already been studied up. I can think of a lot of things that'd be good, but somebody else done thought of them. Airplanes, and radios, and electric lights, and trains, and automobiles.
Yeah, they've already got them along.
I would have been born about 200 years ago.
Oh, why, you'd be too old to invent.
I mean, inventing back in them days, though, was a cinch.
Oh.
Nothing had been thought up yet. Take them Isaacs, for instance.
Isaacs?
Isaac Watts, or Thomas Watts, or whatever his name was, invented the steam engine. Isaac Walton invented fiction. Isaac Newton. I granted I'm a good mind to change my name to Sir Isaac Eddard. Them Isaacs is lucky.
Well, what did that there fella that Isaac Newton's invent?
He's the fellow that studied the law of gravity. Invented apples falling off the trees to the ground.
Well, where'd they fall before that?
I don't know, but he's the one that started it.
Well,
Law of gravity, you've heard of that. That's why all apples fall down on the ground.
they had to pass that law to make them do it, huh?
Of course not, for goodness.
That'd look silly putting an apple in jail just for falling the wrong way.
If I could invent something that'd fall up, I'd have something, you know.
Well, that way you'd have to carry a basket of apples upside down.
Yeah. Have everything fall up instead of down, if I could do it. Turn it loose and have it go right straight up in the air.
Well, a balloon will do that now.
Balloon? That's right, ain't it? But dad blamed it, they ain't even beat me to that. How about sideways?
That's open, I think.
All right, Granny's men, that's it. Right there, that's it. Be quiet, let me concentrate.
Well, I hope you don't invent it. Them apples come buzzing out the side of a tree, them hogs of mine would run themselves to death trying to follow them till they hit the ground.
Be quiet, Abner. I can't invent and you sitting there jabbering. The thing is, if I could figure that falling sideways business out, I'm a success. Sir Isaac Eddard. Well, I reckon I've heard everything now.
Where are you going, Grandpa?
I'm getting out of here while I'm still in my right mind. And if I was you, Sir Isaac Eddard, I'd go over home and get some rest. I don't believe that jar from the explosion helped you none. Apples falling out of trees sideways. Dad blame if I don't believe he lost his.
That's our ring. Time for Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. When we left Lum and Abner, they were very much elated. They had decided that the mysterious bottle of pills found in the late Professor Hinkledorf's car, when mixed with water, formed a substitute for gasoline. As badly as the old fellows are in need of cash just now, it would be a blessing if the formula should prove to be a synthetic gasoline. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner down at their Jot-'em-Down store. Listen.
My granny's ought to bet every nickel I had that stuff was a substitute for gasoline.
Yeah, I thought sure it was too, Lum. But it must not be. Wouldn't work in that car. Just look at the blisters on my hand from cranking that thing.
Well, I got something of my own to look at. Looky there.
Oh, my goodness alive.
If somebody was to come in here to buy something, I wouldn't even be able to rop it up for 'em. Pushing that thing clean up to the top of the hill's what wore us out.
Yeah, that was a mistake. We ought to waited till the cool of the evening to try that. Out there in that hot sun pushing that thing.
Why I never rode back down with you and Cedric, I'll never know.
Well, no, there weren't no reason for you to walk all the way back down here, Lum.
I know it. Stood right there like a dummy and watched you coast back down the hill, and I had to walk clean back to the store, tired as I was.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of room for you.
Is Cedric still out there tinkering with the car?
I reckon so. That's where I left him.
You might as well give that up. He'll never get us started with that stuff in the gasoline tank.
Oh, no. If it was going to start, why, it'd have started coming down that hill. We had it in gear all the way down. Never even sneezed one time.
No, that stuff's bound to be for something else.
Yeah.
But what?
I don't know. And I don't care. I'm tired of experimenting with it, I know that.
Don't care?
No, sir, I don't care.
There ought to be some way to find out what it's for. We've got to raise $160 in 30 days' time. And that's the only way I know to do it. Finding out what that formula's for and selling it.
Well, I'm supposing the stuff ain't worth nothing after we find out what it's for.
Well, it's bound to be worth something.
Yeah, Professor Hinkledorf might have invented it and not knowed what it was himself. You can't tell.
Now, sir, I believe that bottle of pills is that formula he kept talking about in that daily diary of his. Might not every day he'd write something in there about, said if he perfected it, it'd startle the world. All such talk as that.
Yeah, but that might have been something else he's working on. We don't know that it was these tablets he's talking about.
No, but they was in his car and had the directions on the bottle. Mixed 2 tablets with 5 gallons of water.
Yeah, he might have just bought them pills at the drugstore summers, too.
Granny, you're the biggest doubting Tom I ever seen in my life.
I ain't doubting. You get yourself worked up over something like this, Lum, and your imagination runs away with you. Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, what reckon I meant by that? Let your imagination run away with you.
I don't know. You said it.
Yeah, I know I did. I must have heard somebody say that, I reckon. Don't sound the same when I say it, though.
Well, you oughtn't to go around saying things letting you know what they mean. Stop and think. Weigh your words careful before you speak.
Yeah, that's what I ordered. Huh? Weigh 'em?
Why, sure.
Weigh words on a pair of scales?
I never said on scales.
Well, How else can you weigh stuff except on scales?
Well, when I said weigh 'em, I never meant actual weigh 'em on scales. I meant...
Well, I better put mine on the scales, Lum. I couldn't guess what them things would weigh.
Well, they won't weigh nothing.
Well, how am I going to weigh 'em then if they don't weigh nothing?
Weigh 'em on your tongue before you say 'em.
Oh, for goodness sake. I know I couldn't weigh 'em that way.
Well, just forget about it. We've got things a heap more importance than that to worry about. How to raise $160 in 30 days, for instance.
Lead, rock, iron, cement, feathers, cotton.
What are you doing over there?
They don't weigh nothing, Lum.
Get away from them scales, Abner. That's the silliest thing I ever seen. You couldn't weigh a word by saying it on top of the scale.
Well, I can't say a bunch of them at once. Oh, wait. Grapes? Oh.
Well, swan to goodness, such foolishness.
Rock, lead, cement, feathers, Abner Peabody, Ron Rose Cedric.
Now, what do you think you're doing, talking into that paper sack that way?
I'm just going to get a whole sack full and weigh 'em.
Granny, if I hadn't have saw this, I wouldn't have believed it. Trying to weigh a sack full of words. That's the silliest thing I ever heard of.
Dog, it works. Let's see, nearly a half a pound.
What weighs nearly a half a pound?
This sack of words. Look at there. Way over a quarter of a pound.
Words can't weigh nothing. You must be leaning on the scales. Let me see.
I ain't no such a thing. Now, look at there.
Yeah. Now take the sack off of there. Put it back.
See there?
Well, I'll be dead blamed. Maybe I'm the one that's crazy. How many words did you say in that sack?
Oh, about a dozen, I reckon.
Oh, that outcaps anything I ever seen. Here, let me say a few in there.
Yeah. Say heavy ones, Lum, like cement and rock and iron. That's what I done.
Well, no wonder it weighed that much. There's a tomato down in this sack.
Yeah, that was already there. I never had to say tomato.
Never had to... Put that sack up.
Ain't you going to try it?
Granny's Abner, there's times when I don't know whether you ought to be running loose or not.
Oh, you're just mad 'cause you're wrong. That's your trouble. Let me get a big sack over there. I'll fill that.
You get another sack and I'm going to whop you right on top of the head. Just get away from them scales.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. What are you so grouchy about today?
I ain't grouchy. I'm trying to figure out some way to raise $160 and you stand around here weighing words.
You told me to.
I never done no such a thing.
You did too. Told me to weigh my words before I said them. Oh, and I said them first, didn't I? Well, no wonder you're so mad. Well, here, wait a minute, though. How do you go about doing that, Lum?
Go about doing what?
Weighing them before you see them. They're down inside of you, all them words. You can't get them out to weigh them, 'cause when you get them out, you done said them.
You're the exasperatingest somebody I ever seen in my life. I told you 100 times. Wait a minute, here comes Cedric.
Told me 100 times, wait a minute, here comes Cedric.
Cedric, you're wasting your time out there fooling with that car. Just let it go.
Must be deef. That's the first time I heard him say it.
Well, I'm going to try it one more time, Mr. Lum. If it don't start, I'm going to give up on it.
No, I reckon we had the wrong idea about that stuff being a substitute for gasoline anyway. We tried it all morning. It never worked.
Yes, Mom, but I got a different carburetor on there now.
You ain't bought another carburetor for that thing, have you?
No, Mom, I just put that old one back on there. Going to try it.
What old one?
Don't you know, when we first got the car, we couldn't get it started, so I taken that old carburetor he had on there off of it. Got another one. Looked like it was homemade anyway. I got to thinking a while ago maybe that was a special carburetor he had just to burn this stuff in.
Granny, you might have stumbled onto something there, Cedric. Have you tried it yet?
No, Mom, I want to get a little shingle nail over here to use for a cotter key. I lost one a minute ago.
Come on, Abner. I believe Cedric's hit onto something here.
Are you going to try it now, Cedric?
Yes, Mom, this nail will do, I reckon.
Grannies, I can't wait to see if it works.
I know.
How in the world did you ever think about that, Cedric?
I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about nothing, but I did.
Well, that old carburetor wouldn't burn gasoline. Maybe this stuff here is what it was made for.
Well, sir, man, if this works, our worries are over.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
See, all I gotta do is slip this cotter key in here and then we can try it.
Well, Granny, that is a peculiar-looking carburetor, ain't it? He must have made that himself.
Looks like it.
I never seen one like it. Bound to be homemade. And get this thing in there.
Yeah.
Here. Now.
You want me to crank it, Cedric?
No, Mom, I'll spin it first.
Me dead blame. Granny, thought sure that start.
Me too.
Had myself all excited here for nothing. Here, let me try it. Reckon that's just another wild goose chase.
I'll be dead blame. Well, this don't crank no more on this crazy thing. We've done roar our hands out this morning.
Yeah, look at that hand.
Wait a minute here, Cedric. You forgot to turn on the switch.
Mom?
Looky here. Wait a minute. Here. Now it's turned on. Yeah, now try it, Lum.
Well, I wonder what's going on down in Pine Ridge right now. Of course, we'll find out in just a moment, right after I give all you folks a most timely tip. If the changeable weather we've been having recently has caused you or any member of your family to suffer with a miserable cold, right now is the time for you to get acquainted with the modern, pleasant Alka-Seltzer way to relief in cold distress. Listen, here's a mighty effective way to take care of that cold. At the first sign of distress, start at once to take common sense precautions. Get plenty of rest, more than usual. Dress sensibly, eat only easy-to-digest foods, and take Alka-Seltzer. Yes, follow the easy, simple directions in the Alka-Seltzer package, and you'll be surprised how promptly and pleasantly you can ease the distress and discomfort of a cold. Use Alka-Seltzer for that sore throat, too. Just dissolve 2 tablets in a quarter glass of warm water and use as you would an ordinary gargle. The modern Alka-Seltzer way to relief in cold distress is easy. It's pleasant. It's really effective. Be sure to try it, won't you? Remember, you can get Alka-Seltzer tablets at all drugstores. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner's new bank, which they are now operating in connection with the Jot 'em Down store, is slowly getting underway. Friday and Saturday they received a few new accounts and now boast of deposits totaling over $400. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Abner down in the vault. Lum is just entering the store. Listen.
Abner? Hey, Abner.
Here I am down here.
Oh, what are you doing down there around that vault? Wait a minute, you ain't rigging up another burglar alarm, are you?
No, sir, I'm just down here.
What in the world do you think you're doing?
Painting a safe. Just finished it.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. We just painted it the other day.
Yeah, but we painted it black, Lum.
Well, that don't look like no safe the way you got it dabbed up there. What kind of a design do you call that anyway? All them different colors that way.
That's what you call camouflage.
Camouflage?
Yes, sir, that's the way the government paints all their boats and airplanes and stuff like that so the enemy can't see them.
Well, what's that got to do with a bank safe?
I've got it to where the bank robbers can't see it.
Can't see it? You could see that thing a mile off. red and green and every other color.
My doggies, I believe it does look plainer from up here now than it did when it was black.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Best thing for you to do is get some more black paint and paint it over again.
Yeah, maybe so. I'll have to wait till that dries, though.
Swan to goodness, it's got to where I can't leave this place for 5 minutes without you doing something wrong.
Well, you made me take that burglar alarm off. I was just trying to study up something to make the bank safe for our depositors. Just trying to help.
Yeah, and if you'd quit trying to help, we'd get along a heap better. Got 2 of my best suits of clothes sopping wet the other day at that burglar alarm.
You said you wouldn't bring that up no more, Lum.
I don't like to hurt your feelings, Abner, but I believe I better look after the bank and you take care of the store.
Well, it's just as much my bank as it is yours.
Yeah, but both of us cashing checks and taking in deposits, we never will be able to keep things straight around here. We're still $8.40 off from Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah, we got $8.40 more than we ought to have, according to the books.
Well, good. Good for us.
Good?
Why, sure. We're ahead that much, ain't we?
Yeah, but we beat somebody out of it. We either shortchanged somebody when we cashed a check for them, or somebody deposited some money and we never made out no slip for it.
Well, maybe we just made that much out of the bank, Lum. Profits.
No, couldn't be. The only way a bank can make any money is to loan money. We ain't loaned but $20, and we won't make no interest on that for 6 months yet.
For 6 months?
Yeah. That loan I made Finest Bradley. He's supposed to pay the interest every 6 months.
Well, how long did you loan it to him for?
Well, we never set no particular time. He said he didn't know when he could pay it back.
Yeah, well, supposing he don't pay for 3 or 4 years.
Well, that's the way we'll make our money. The longer he keeps it, the more interest he'll have to pay. 80 cents every 6 months he'll have to pay us.
80 cents?
Yes, sir. $20 at 8%, $1.60 a year, and half of that makes 80 cents every 6 months.
You mean we're going to have to keep this bank open, work here every day for 6 months just to make 80 cents?
Granny, that don't sound like a whole lot, does it?
Well, supposing he pays it before the 6 months is up.
Don't get no interest at all, I reckon. But I don't think we'll have no trouble with that. You know that Finest, what a deadbeat he is. He never pays nothing back.
And that's what I thought Saturday whenever you let him have the money.
You see now what I had in mind, don't you? See, if he don't pay us for 10 years, we'll make $16 on that one loan. Done figured it up.
Yeah, well, if we can get enough money loaned out that way, why, I reckon it'll be all right.
Oh, well, Finest ain't the only deadbeat in town. I've got some others in mind. I believe I can talk Squire Skimp into borrowing some. And you know he ain't going to pay off no loan. We can make interest off of him for years.
Yeah, I believe I'm catching on now, Lum.
Yeah, the longer they keep the money out, the more interest we'll make. Like Uncle Henry Lunsford wanted to borrow $50 Saturday. I had to turn him down.
Turned Uncle Henry down?
Had to.
Why, he never beat a man out of a nickel in his life, Lum. Always been just as honest and upright in all his dealings as he could be.
That's just what I told him. I said, Uncle Henry, if I loaned you this money, I know good and well the day it's due, you'll be right in here with the money, and we can't make no money that way.
Well, what'd he say?
Oh, natural. Him not knowing nothing about banking business, he couldn't see my side.
Couldn't, huh?
Thought he's supposed to pay it when it's due, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, how much can we loan out now, Lum?
Well, that's just it. We ain't got much in the bank. We got about $400 on deposit.
Yeah.
And what we got to do is get out here and get some of these other folks to deposit their money with us.
Well, I got 3 or 4 Saturday, talked them into it.
Yeah, most of them was in mill hands, though, and they ain't got very much to deposit.
I got Cedric to put $100 in here.
Yeah, I don't know why he don't put the rest of his money in here. He's got close to $2,000 buried summers.
Close to $3,000.
No, he give $500 to his mama to buy some clothes and new furniture with.
Oh.
Give his pa some money and bought each one of his brothers and sisters a defense bond.
Well, good for Cedric.
But if he don't put the rest of that money of his in here, we're going to lose money handling his account.
Where, huh?
He writes too many checks. 22 checks he wrote Saturday.
22?
Yes, sir.
Well, has he got any of that $100 left?
Yeah, that's the trouble. All 22 checks just amount to $6 and something.
For the land's sake.
Most of them was wrote out to Luke Spear's lunchroom. Every time he buys a bottle of soda pop, he writes out a check for 5 cents.
Well?
Cashes a check for 5 cents and plays the pinball machine.
Well, I knowed if he ever learned to write 'em, he'd just love it.
Yeah. Maybe now that he's learned how to write checks, he'll put the rest of his money in here. Likes it so well.
I believe, he's a little skittish about putting all that money in here, Lum.
I don't know why he would be. He knows me and you both knows we're honest.
Why, sure. Long as he's noticed, he ought to.
Don't reckon he's feared his money won't be safe here in that safe down there.
Oh, surely not, strong as that thing is. I just can't understand what he's waiting on.
Yeah, if we could get his money, that gives about $2,000 to loan out.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to him some more, Lum. Tell him to bring it on in here. They ain't taking no chance at all.
And, well, whilst I don't like to bring it up myself, Abner, maybe you hadn't thought about it. You ain't never moved your money out here, you know.
Huh?
I say, you've got just as much as Cedric, and you ain't never moved your money out here to our bank.
Well, I'll have a talk with Cedric and see if I can get him to dig up the rest of that money and bring it in here.
Yeah, but what about you?
Oh, well, my money's safe. It's in a good bank in there at the county seat.
What do you mean, a good bank?
Well, don't you think that's a good bank in there?
Of course I do. So is this one. But if you ain't got confidence enough in it to put your money in it, how do you expect other folks here in the community to put their money in it? You're a half owner of the bank.
Yeah, but supposing we was to have a bank robbery.
We ain't gonna have no bank robbery. Nobody knows the combination to that safe but me and you. Wait a minute, you trust me, don't you?
Oh, sure, Lum, but, well, it's just so far into the county seat to get the money and, well, you know how you lose stuff moving it around that way.
You're just trying to think up excuses, Abner. You're going in there in that bank tomorrow and draw out your money and put it in this bank.
Well, Lum, I want to see how this bank does for a while first.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. Don't even trust your own bank.
Well, did you put your money in here yet?
Other people's got their money in here.
Lum, you never answered me.
I never heard what you said.
I say, have you moved your money?
Don't try to change the subject.
Well, have you?
I don't know whether the president of a bank's allowed to keep his money in his own bank or not, Abner.
Well, why not?
Well, like if, well, in the first place, take for instance, supposing I wanted to cash a check for myself someday and somebody was to be walking past the window yonder and see me taking a $10 bill out of the cash box and putting it in my pocket, they might think I was bezzling, sure as the world. No, I'm feared it wouldn't be safe, Abner. I'd love to, the worst in the world, but I'm just feared it wouldn't be safe.
That's just the reason I don't want to move mine either. Feared it won't be safe.
Well, be honest now, Abner. What do you think about it?
About what?
About the bank. Do you think it's safe?
Oh, I'll be dad blamed if I know, Lum. What do you think?
Well, I don't know neither. I wish now we'd never started the thing.
Yeah.
But, as long as we're into it, looks like we've both got to do it.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll move mine out here if you will.
Well, all right. I'll do it.
Well, good. Now we can not only tell the folks around town that we got our money in our own bank, but we got a night watchman, too.
A night watchman? Where'd he come from?
Grannies, if I'm going to put my money in this bank, me and you's going to take turnabout sleeping down there in front of that safe door of a night. I never knowed there was so many worries to this bank.
Well, you can never tell what will happen next in that bank, can you? I was talking with Grandpappy Spears down in Pine Ridge the other day, and he told me something I think all you oldsters in our radio audience ought to know. You see, Grandpappy's well nigh on to 80 years young, and like many other older folks, he's troubled occasionally with muscular aches and pains. Well, sir, Grandpappy told me that whenever those muscles in his arms and legs and back get to acting up, he just fixes himself a glass of Alka-Seltzer, drinks it, and it's almost no time before he gets relief. Now, if muscular aches and pains cause you discomfort every once in a while, why don't you try Alka-Seltzer? It's really surprising how quickly a glass of sparkling Alka-Seltzer can help take the kinks out of sore, aching, painful muscles. Yes, it's just as effective for these common joy killers as it is for headaches, for acid indigestion, and in cold distress. So be sure to try it. Now, if you haven't a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets in your home now, get one from your druggist right away. I know you'll be glad you did. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Lum and Abner have so much confidence in their new bank, they're even putting their own money into it.
Lum made a trip to the county seat today and drew out their balance of some $4,000 from the bank there, and now the total deposits of the Pine Ridge United Bank have swelled to nearly $5,000. As we look in on our old friends now, Lum has just returned from the county seat, and we find him and Abner down at the store. Listen.
Yeah, well, they can't complain about us not having confidence in our own bank now. We've got $4,000 of our own money in there.
I just hope we ain't making no mistake taking it out of the bank in there at the county seat, Lum.
Well, of course not. We got it out here where we can look after it now.
I just sort of in hopes that you'd change your mind while you'd in there and just leave it in there where we know it's safe.
Well, now, don't you let nobody else hear you talking that way. If they found out you ain't got no confidence in the bank, you know they ain't going to put their money in here.
Well, I ain't going to say nothing. That don't keep me from thinking, though. Reckon we couldn't take part of our money out and bury it, Lum.
Bury it? For goodness sakes. That would look fine, wouldn't it? The president and assistant cashier of the bank taking their own money out and burying it.
Well, that's all the money we got in the world, Lum. Now, if anything happens to it, we'll be right back broke again.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself even thinking of such a thing. Besides, supposing somebody was to see us bury it. Where did you have in mind to put it?
No, I don't know. Any place where it's safe.
It's safe right here, right where it's at. We can watch it here. We're going to be here in the store all day, and one of us is going to sleep here of a night.
Yeah, but you sleep so sound, Lum. I don't know whether you'd hear a robber or not.
I'm going to tie a string from the handle of that safe door to my big toe every night. They can't open the door without waking me up. And I've got another idea for protecting it, too. Come on over here and I'll show you.
Is that the surprise you got in the box, sir?
Yeah. This'll protect the bank during the daytime.
Well, good.
I got this idea from in there at the bank at the county seat.
Oh. Well, what is that?
You know that fellow that stands around in the lobby of the bank in there in a uniform?
The guard?
Yeah.
Well, that looks like a band uniform.
It is.
Are you going to join the band? Well, you can't play no instrument, Lum.
I don't have to play no instrument.
Well, they'll catch you and throw you out of the band then. That's what they done to Mose Moots. He played the tuba for over a year before they catched on that he weren't making no noise. They got a piece with a tuba solo in it, and, well, that was the end of Mose.
Well, I ain't figuring on joining the band, Abner. This uniform's for you.
Me? Well, I can't play nothing. Just chord a little on the guitar, but they don't have them in bands.
This is for you to wear here in the bank. You're going to be the bank guard.
Well, that don't look like no policeman's outfit.
Yeah, that's the only thing they had in there in the way of a uniform. Got it in there at the second-hand clothing store over there on the south side.
Yeah.
They had some stuff for masquerade parties and stuff like that, ghost outfits and Uncle Sam costume. But this is the nearest thing they had to a policeman's uniform.
Well, I never have saw a policeman wear a bright red coat like that.
They do up in Canada. Them Northwest Mounted policemen wears them.
You mean I'm going to ride a horse here in the store?
No, you just stand around like that fella does in there at the bank in the county seat. Just look spacious at all the customers that comes in here.
Well, why don't you wear this outfit, Lum?
Well, that wouldn't look right. The president of the bank wearing a uniform and guarding it, too. You'll get to wear a star and carry a pistol. You won't have to take no back talk off of nobody. Go ahead and slip on the coat and see how it fits.
Yeah, I never knowed I got to pack shooting arms. Can I wear that pistol strapped on the outside like that guard in there does?
Why, sure. Want folks to see it.
Hot dog.
Here, I'll help you.
Yeah, let me get my arm in there.
Believe it's going to fit all right.
Oh, where's the breeches to it?
Oh, any kind of pants is all right. Them blue serge you've got on's all right.
Well, how do I look?
Fine. Might be a little big.
Yeah.
Sleeves is way yonder too long, but you might grow yet.
Oh, I don't think I'll grow much at my age, Lum.
Yeah, we can stuff some padding in there and turn the sleeves back. It'll make your muscles look bigger that way. Then they will be scared of you.
Yeah, I'll scare the daylights out of them. Now, where's my pistol now, Lum?
Well, I think I know where I can get one. Mose Moots has got one over there at the barber shop. He might loan us. I'll run across the street there right now and see if I can't borrow it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Here, wait a minute. Here's the cap that goes with it.
Huh?
See there? Got a plume on it and everything.
Oh, I never seen that. Hey, doggy, that's fancy, ain't it?
That looks nice. Becomes you.
Does it, sure enough?
Wait a minute. There comes Cedric up out there. If he wants to cash a check or something, go ahead and wait on him, Abner. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you better hurry. We got that money down there in the safe. I ought to be guarding it right now.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Lum.
Abner's back there. He'll wait on you if there's anything you want.
Yeah, come on back, Cedric.
Well, for the land's sakes. I never hardly knowed you, Mr. Abner.
Whereabouts is the parade?
What parade?
I don't know. This is the first I've heard about it.
Well, the first I heard about it, too. Good thing you come by. I might have missed it, Cedric. Well, this uniform's just a thing for it, ain't it?
Yes, Mom. Wished I had one.
Is everybody going to wear uniforms?
Well, lodge members will, I reckon. They generally always do.
Oh, yeah. It's the only chance they ever get to wear 'em. Well, reckon why they're parading today?
I don't know. Just supposed it was on account of you and Mr. Lum opening up this bank in the store here.
Oh.
I've heard folks all over town talking about how nice they thought it was of you to do it.
Well.
Don't have to go clean to the county seat to do their banking now.
Aye, doggy, that's just about what it's for. Well, me and Lum will be marching right at the head of the parade then, won't we?
Yes, Mom, I guess you will.
Well, that is nice. That's the nicest thing I've ever had did to me. Well, let me call Elizabeth and tell her. She might not know a thing about it.
Don't she know you're going to wear this beautiful uniform?
No, I just got it a while ago.
She'd be surprised to death whenever she sees you about it. Just I had something to put on. Get in the parade myself, I did. Could wear my baseball suit, I reckon.
Hello? Oh, hello, honey. Did you know about the parade? This afternoon.
Pin my glove right on my breeches there.
Yeah? For me and Lum?
Just what I'll do.
On account of us opening up the bank. Why, the lodge started, I think. Yes, it is awful nice of them. Well, I got a brand new uniform to wear, too.
Wear my cap backwards.
Yeah, Lum got it for me. Yeah, a red coat and a cap with a big plume in it.
Put a red rose on my baseball cap.
Why, sure, we'll march right at the head of the parade. Oh, I don't know. Just a minute. What time does it start, Cedric?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Abner. 2 o'clock, I reckon. That's when they generally start.
At 2 o'clock. Yeah, sharp. Well, it's nearly 1:30 now. Well, get little Pearl all dressed up and bring her too, Elizabeth. Oh, he'll just tickle her to death to see me out there marching. Yeah, when we come by where you're standing, start the hand slapping and get 'em all started, you know. Yeah, all right, Elizabeth. Huh? Oh, yeah, call 'em. Get everybody you can down there. All right, honey. Yeah, goodbye. She's going to call the sea strunkses and get them all down there.
Yes, Mom.
Poor thing, she never knowed a thing about it. She just stays so close there on the place, she never knows nothing that's going on around this town.
Well, yonder comes Mr. Grandpap up on the porch there.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I wonder why he ain't got on his Civil War uniform. I never knowed him to miss a parade. Yeah, come in, Grandpap.
Hey, howdy. Well, what in the world are you so dressed up for, Abner?
For the parade. Ain't you heard about it?
I know. I just now come downtown. I've been home all morning.
Yeah, well, give 'em a parade for me and Lum on account of us opening up the bank here.
Well, what time are they aiming on having it?
2 o'clock, sharp. If you're going to get your uniform on, you better skedaddle out of here. It's 1:30 right now.
Yeah, well, here, tell 'em to wait if I'm late, Abner. I'll get back just as quick as I can.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are they aiming on starting it out from?
Why, down there at the far end of the street at the lodge hall, I reckon.
Well, I'll be down there just as quick as I can get ready.
Yeah, all right, Grandpap.
I believe I'll go over to the place and get on my baseball suit, Mr. Abner. Wish they'd have told me about it sooner. I'd have got some fancy outfit to wear like yours.
Yeah, well, you better hurry now, Cedric. Oh, look at there, Grandpap talking to Lum out there. Tell him to get on over and get dressed. I can't hold that parade up all day for him.
Well, he's leaving now. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
All right, hurry, Cedric.
Where are you going such a race, Cedric?
Over to the place to get on my baseball suit for the parade.
Well, that's the time.
Yeah, come on in, Lum.
Grandpap was just telling me about the parade, Abner.
Yeah, ain't that fine?
Yeah. That uniform's a little big for you, Abner. Maybe I ought to wear it today.
Oh, no, you don't. Now, you got this for me, and I'm going to wear it.
All right. I'll carry a flag then.
Yeah.
Grandpap says they're aiming on starting from down in front of the lodge hall at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, Abner, they're trying to surprise us. Why don't we surprise them?
Surprise them?
Yeah, they're going to start from the far end of the street and march this way. At 2 o'clock, me and you'll start from up here. Just the two of us march down the middle of the street together and meet them halfway.
Doggy, that's a good idea.
And then I'll stop and give a speech.
Yeah, that's a time.
Get that legal holiday sign out and hang it on the door, Abner. We'll just close the whole place up for the rest of the day. Granny, this is the biggest thing that ever happened to us, Abner. The biggest day of our life.
Well, it certainly looks as though Lum and Abner might be in for a big disappointment. You know, friends, I think one of the big reasons why so many of you enjoy these broadcasts is because, well, life down in Pine Ridge is so quiet and peaceful. So different from the life many of us are forced to live these days. We hurry to work in the morning. We hurry through our work during the day, and we hurry home at night. We hurry through dinner. Then we hurry out for the evening to get some relaxation. I say it's no wonder that headaches, nervous indigestion, and other minor stomach upsets are so common these days. Now, if you're one of these folks who's always on the go, I hope for your sake that you're acquainted with Alka-Seltzer. If you are Alka-Seltzer wise, you already know how quickly and pleasantly it offers relief. And if you don't know from experience how helpful Alka-Seltzer can be, don't put off trying it any longer. Take Alka-Seltzer for headaches, for nervous indigestion, distress after meals, muscular aches and pains and fatigue, and morning after misery. You'll feel better fast. Never be without a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets in your home and at your place of work. Get it at any drugstore. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the bank Lum and Abner recently opened in Pine Ridge seems to be getting off to a good start. Even though the deposits were a little slow in getting started, they're now increasing every day. And the old fellows are quite excited over the prospects of their new business venture. As we look in on the little community today, we find Squire Skimp over at the bank talking with Lum. Listen.
I'm sorry, Squire, but we just ain't making no loans right now.
Well, that's all right, Lum. There's no hard feelings. I just thought if you had money to loan, why, I could use a little right now.
Yeah, well, we had to sort of slow down a little on the loans for a while.
Well, I can get it in at the bank at the county seat, all right. I just thought I'd rather do business here at home, you know.
Excuse me a minute, Squire. That's our ring.
Well, I've got to be going anyway, Lum. I'll see you later.
Yeah, all right, Squire.
Good day, Abner.
Huh? Oh, good day, Squire.
Hello? Pine Ridge United Bank and Jot 'em Down store talking. Who? Oh, howdy, Luke. For how much? Just a minute and I'll see.
Who is it, Lum?
Luke Spears wants to know if Cedric Weehunt's check's good for 10 cents.
Yeah, it's good. Cedric's got better than $80 left in the bank.
I know it. I just want Luke to wait a minute like I'm looking it up. Don't want him to think we got such a few accounts over here I can't recollect them all. Hello, Luke. I finally found out. Yeah, the check's all right. Yeah, all right, Luke. Not at all, not at all. Goodbye.
That Luke don't trust nobody, does he?
No, sir.
I believe Squire was kind of mad, Lum, you turned him down on that loan.
I don't care. He's awful slow pay, Squire.
Well, I thought you said the other day that's the kind we wanted to loan money to, them that's slow, so we could collect more interest off of them.
Well, would you loan Squire Skimp $200 of your money?
Why, no, of course not.
Well, most of the money we've got in the bank belongs to me and you. That's the reason I've shut down on the loans.
Well, I thought you said that's the only way we could make any money out of the bank, though, was off a loan.
That was before we put our money in here, though. We've got about $5,000 on deposit in here now, and $4,000 of it is ours. Every time we lend somebody $5, $4 of them dollars belongs to us.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But Squire said he could get it in there at the bank at the county seat.
Yeah, but he was just talking to hear his head rattle. He's done tried in there, he wouldn't have come to us.
Yeah, more than likely. Well, how are we going to make any money if we don't loan some, though, Lum?
Well, it ain't costing us nothing to run the bank here, Abner. Only thing we're out is them blank checks they use. They don't amount to nothing. Except Cedric, he writes about 15 or 20 checks a day.
No, but it takes up a lot of your time doing all that book work and all, and I have to run the store here by myself.
Well, I don't mind the extra work it's putting me to. One thing it's doing, though, folks around this town has got a different altitude towards us now. Have you noticed how nice everybody is to us now since we opened up the bank?
Yeah.
Nearly everybody calls me Mr. Edwards now.
Yeah, me too. Calls me Mr. Peabody. But I'd a heaped rather they'd just call me Abner, though, Lum. They ain't as friendly as they was. Act like they're scared of me.
Yeah, folks have just natural got a lot of respect for success.
But I've worked harder here in the store than I ever did. Our business has just picked up something awful here lately. You don't notice it so much, you're spending all your time over there working on them books.
Yeah, the bank's helping the store business, ain't no doubts about that. I reckon they figure if they give us their business in the store, they might be able to borrow some money later.
Yeah, more than likely.
I think eventually we'll have all the business there is here in town. Everybody around here trusts us, but I think some of them is just holding off to see whether we know enough to run a bank or not.
Yeah, well, they'll find out they don't have to worry about that.
Yes, sir, I don't know myself how we've catched on to it so quick. But I don't believe there's no one thing about the banking business that I don't know. Must have just been an inherit with me.
Yeah, I believe old man Bledsoe must have decided his money was safe. Ever since he put that $12 in here, while he's been sitting out there on the porch all day long watching us till today. He ain't showed up yet today.
Well, he was in early this morning. Come in wanting to draw out his balance.
Well.
Writ me out a check, and I hand him the money, and he handed it right back to me. Said he just wanted to be sure he could get it if he wanted it.
Yeah, well, he's been awful nervous about it.
If he couldn't have got it, he'd more than likely took it and buried it again. But as long as he found out he could get it, he didn't want it.
Yeah. Well, he sat out there all day yesterday. Wait a minute. Who's that coming up out there?
I don't know. Never seen him before.
Must be a drummer.
I hope it ain't the bank examiner. I still ain't been able to get them books to balance.
Well, he's coming in all right. There he comes.
Yeah. Howdy do, sir. What can we do for you?
I was looking for the bank. I understood it was in this building.
Yeah, this is it right here. See, that's the store over there. All this part with the chicken wire around it is the bank. Did you want to make a deposit or something?
Why, no. I was looking for a safe deposit vault.
Well, there's the safest one you ever seen right down there. Ain't nobody knows the combination to it except me and my partner over there.
Howdy do, sir.
And we're both honest, guaranteed.
Mr. Moots over at the barber shop told me that you might have a place where I could leave some valuable papers.
Yeah, we can take care of them for you, all right. Are you a friend of Mose Moot?
Well, not exactly a friend.
One of his relates, huh? You must be his cousin from Kansas City.
Why, yes.
Oh, I've heard him speak of you a lot of times. Glad to have you doing business with us.
Well, here, I want to leave this box in your vault for a few days. I have some insurance papers and one thing and another in there.
Yes, sir.
Not particularly valuable to anybody else, but they're worth quite a lot to me.
Well, here, we'll take care of them for you. I don't know why I'm talking so low. Get me down here to where I'm whispering.
Well, I may not be able to pick up this box myself, but if you'll make me out a receipt, why, you can turn the box over to whoever presents the receipt.
Yeah, that'll be all right. Let's see here. I ought to have some blank receipts for such as this, but I ain't. I can just write one out. Received, that blame pen can't write nothing without it smearing.
Here, try this fountain pen.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a dandy. Been laying off to get myself one of them self-fillers. Received of... I've heard Mose call your name 1,000 times. Devereaux, ain't it?
Yes, John Devereaux. That'll be fine.
Received of John Devereaux, 110 box. Ain't necessary to say what all's in it, is it?
Why, no. See, there's nothing in there but some papers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll sign it. Lum Edwards, president, and cashier. That'll make it double official.
Just remember, don't let anyone have this box unless they present this receipt.
Oh, no, sir. It's safe. You don't have to worry about that.
And I'd rather you wouldn't let anyone know that I left it here.
No, sir. Hear that, Abner? Don't tell nobody about the box being here.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Here, Abner, take it down and put it in the safe right now.
Yeah.
And there's your receipt.
All right. How much do I owe you?
Oh, nothing at all. Just glad to do anything for any kin of Moses.
Well, here, this is for your trouble.
$5? Well, it ain't worth that.
It's worth it to me. I may be back in a few days, but if not, why, hold it until someone presents this receipt.
All right, sir. Yes, sir. And much obliged to you.
That's all right. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. Come back again. And don't worry about your box.
$5.
Grannies, that's as much as a safe costs us. This banking's all right, you know it. Make money on all sides.
Yeah, that Mose must have some rich kin folks.
Yeah. Look at that car he's driving off in there. Shame he can't talk louder, ain't it?
Yeah, he sort of whisper.
Whispering John.
Yeah.
Granny's no telling how valuable them papers is. Wait a minute. Look here, Dad blamed if I didn't let him walk right out without his fountain pen.
Well, I do know. Well, he'll more likely be visiting here for a day or two. Why don't you call up Mose and tell him that his cousin left his fountain pen over here?
Yeah. Never once thought about that. Laid it right down after I used it.
Notice he's awful free with his money, I'll say that. Don't sound like Moses' side of the family.
Hello, Mose. This is Lum Edwards. Oh, tolerably. I just called to tell you your cousin John from Kansas City was just in here and left a fountain pen. So I just wanted you to tell him where it was at.
Well, she's my cousin.
Yeah, he said you sent him over here.
Our uncle.
Well, I do know.
brother. He'd give him one.
Yeah? Well, that's him. Well, if you see him, tell him I've got it anyway. All right, Mose. Goodbye. Granny, that's peculiar.
Huh?
I don't see how the feller could get himself so mixed up about his own relations.
What's the matter, Lum?
Mose says he ain't got no cousin here in town.
Huh?
He described this feller to me, though. I know it's the same one. Mose said he come in there and got a shave and had his mustache cut off. Asked him if there's a bank in town, and Mose sent him over here.
Well, I'll be dead blamed.
And him whispering that away. Reckon what's in that box?
Oh, for the good old days. How many times we hear someone make this remark. But I wonder, were the good old days so good after all? Now, how would you like, for example, to have to go back to the old-fashioned methods of caring for a cold, now that the modern, easy Alka-Seltzer way has proven to be so effective, so pleasant? Well, I tell you, folks, there's just no comparison. Until you've tried it, you have no idea how quickly and pleasantly Alka-Seltzer offers relief from that aching head and that dull, stuffed-up feeling of a cold. You'll want to use it, too, as a gargle for that accompanying sore throat. So be modern, folks. Be wise. The next time you catch cold, follow the easy, simple directions in the Alka-Seltzer package and see how much better it makes you feel. If you haven't any Alka-Seltzer in your home now, get some from your druggist tonight. Or tomorrow, sure. Lum reminded me of an old proverb the other day that makes a lot of sense. Perhaps you remember it. Good things come in small packages. Well, you know, there's a lot of truth in that old saying, and to prove it, just take a look at a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets. Now, there's a small package that has a world of good stored up in it. Just think of all the happiness and comfort it can bring into your home. Think of those times when a touch of acid indigestion caused Dad to feel miserable and act unlike his usual self. And how about those headaches that Mother gets every now and then, when the housework piles up or the children are unusually trying? Oh, I tell you, folks, there are so many times some member of the family needs the quick, pleasant relief Alka-Seltzer offers that no home should ever be without a package handy. And you won't be either once you've experienced the remarkable relief it offers for headaches, for acid indigestion, muscular aches and pains, in cold distress, and morning after misery. Try it, won't you? Get a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets from your druggist the very next time you're in his store. You'll be thankful more than once for this friendly suggestion, I'm sure. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Yesterday, Lum and Abner had an unusual experience in their new bank. A stranger left a tin box with them for safekeeping in their bank vault, giving them $5 for their trouble. The old fellows are naturally consumed with curiosity as to the contents of the mysterious-looking box. As we look in on the little community today, we find the two old fellows down at the bank discussing the matter. Listen.
He did act sort of suspicious, all right, now that you mention it.
I'd still love to know what's in that box he left here, Lum. Couldn't we just take one little bitty look in it real quick?
No, Abner, we can't do that. He left it here for safekeeping.
Well, I don't mean take nothing out of it. Just look and see what's in it.
He showed us there wasn't anything in it except some insurance papers and one thing and another.
Yeah, but we didn't get to read what's on them.
Well, that's private property. Just 'cause he leaves it in our vault, that don't give us no right to look in it. Paid us $5 to take care of it for him.
Yeah, now that's another thing. I don't believe he'd have give us $5 just to watch some insurance papers for him.
Well, he admitted the papers was valuable to him, but said they weren't worth nothing to nobody else.
No. Well, sir, I'd just give my right arm just to look in there for 2 minutes.
Well, quit thinking about it. That's what's the matter with you. You've done nothing but talk about that box ever since he left it here.
No, sir, I don't know what it is, Lum. It might just be a woman's tuition, but something tells me I ought to look in that box.
Well, there's something telling you not to. That's me.
Well, don't you care nothing about seeing them papers?
Well, at first I never thought nothing about it, but you've had so much to say about it, you sort of got my curiosity roused a little.
That might be a map to some lost treasury somewheres.
Where?
I don't know. I'm just thinking it could be.
Randy, wait a minute. You never looked in there this morning while I was gone, did you?
No, sir.
Could be the directions to that old lost Indian mine that's supposed to be around here.
Yes, sir, I bound you. That's just where he's headed for, too. We could follow the tracks of that car he's driving, and that wouldn't be against the rules, would it?
Well, there wouldn't be no way of tracking the car now.
Well, he might have told Mose Moots where the mine's at.
Well, why would he tell Mose?
Well, he said that Mose was his cousin.
Yeah, but Mose says he ain't.
I know it, and I don't see why Mose wouldn't claim kin to him, as rich as he is.
Well, Mose ought to know. The feller come in Mose's barber shop and got a shave, had his mustache shaved off.
Well, maybe that's the reason Mose never knowed him, without his mustache. That makes a lot of difference in a feller.
Well, he seen him before he shaved him, and then he seen him afterwards.
Yeah, but it was after he shaved him, though, when Mose said he weren't his cousin.
Yeah, it was afterwards, all right.
That Mose might have laid him down in that chair and covered his face with lather without looking at him very good.
Well, I believe Mose would know his own cousin, though.
Well, you'd think he would. I don't know what's ailing that Mose. Maybe he needs spectacles. Wait a minute, Lum. I just happened to think of something here. That feller might have just been saying that. He might not even be Mose's cousin.
Well, for goodness sakes. Did you just now think of that?
Yes, sir, just this minute. I don't know how coming to do it. I just sitting here and it come to me.
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell you all day. That's the reason I got suspicious of the feller. Nobody ain't going around claiming kin to Mose Moots unless they have to.
You mean somebody's making him do it?
No, but there's bound to be some reason for it.
Dad, blame it, I'd love to know what's in that box.
Don't reckon it'd be legal for the president of the bank to... No.
Huh?
Nothing. He ain't got no more right to look in there than nobody else has.
Well, I'll watch you and see that you don't take nothing on it.
I don't need nobody to watch me. Just forget about the box, Abner. Just wait till he comes back after it, and I'll ask him what's in it.
Well, he said he might not come back, or he might send somebody.
Well, whoever comes after it, I'll ask him.
Well, reckon how long it'll be before they come after it?
I don't know, Abner. I don't know no more about it than you do.
Well, I wish they'd hurry and come back before I go plumb stark raving mad crazy.
Well, they may not come back for 6 months, or a year even.
Well, how long does it have to stay here before it belongs to us, Lum?
Well, it never will belong to us.
Well, that's the way they run things at the shoe shop.
Shoe shop?
Yes, sir. They got a sign in there that says, merchandise left over 30 days will be sold.
Yeah, but it don't say it belongs to them.
Well, I ain't going to sell that box till I look in it, I'll tell you that.
Who said anything about selling it?
Well, I don't know what you're thinking about, wanting to sell that box before we even have a chance to look in it and find out where the lost treasury's at, Lum.
Abner, in the first place, I never said we was going to sell it. And in the second place, you don't know that there's a map to the lost treasure in it.
Well, I do, too. That feller said himself.
Huh?
Nothing. Doggy, where'd I get that idea?
What idea?
That's funny. I can see it just as plain. You go up over old Piney Mountain and across the Eagle Mountain, and on the far side of Eagle Mountain there's a big rock ledge with a cave in it, and the treasure is in that cave.
Wait a minute. Look me in the eye, Abner.
Huh?
Right straight in the eye. Have you looked in that box?
No, sir. Cross my heart.
Well, how did you know all them directions then?
I don't know.
Granny, maybe you're psychic.
No, I feel fine.
I mean, maybe you're sort of a fortune teller.
Oh, well, maybe Jim Bates is. He was the one that told me that's where it was at.
Jim Bates said there was a buried treasure hid over there in that cave?
Yes, sir. Said the Indians hid it there.
Well, when did he tell you that?
Oh, 3 or 4 years ago, something like that.
Well, did you ever look to see if it was there?
Oh, no. You can't believe nothing that Jim tells you. You know how he exaggerates.
Yeah.
I knowed if it's there, why, he never would have told me where it's at. He'd have been over there after it himself. But now, if this feller's got a map that says the same thing, well, I believe old Jim was right.
For goodness sakes.
Might have been trying to do me a favor, and I never knowed it.
You got the dad-blamedest imagination I ever seen in my... Wait a minute, there comes Cedric Wehunt.
Well, what does he know about it?
Nothing that I know of.
Oh, look at them tennis shoes he's got on.
Yeah. Gloves, muffler.
Yeah, if he ain't dressed up now.
Don't let on, no. Don't poke any fun at him.
I ain't.
Come in, Cedric.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric. You're just in time.
Oh, howdy. Just in time for what?
Huh?
What do you mean he's just in time?
I must have been thinking about something else. Yeah, I know I was. For instance, if we was going to open that box, he'd be just in time, Mom.
Well, we ain't going to open that box, though.
No, not going to open it today, Cedric.
Well, I'll come back tomorrow then. Wait a minute, though. That ain't what I come over here for, whatever you're talking about. I wanted to get some more blank checks. I'm out again.
For goodness sakes, what are you doing with all them checks anyway?
Writing checks on them.
Well, that's what they're for, all right, but you're using more checks than all the other customers put together, Cedric.
Well, good for me. I sure write 'em, don't I?
Yeah, too many. Instead of writing a check every time you want to buy a bottle of soda pop or a saucer of ice cream, why don't you just cash a check for about $1 at a time, and then you can carry the change around with you?
Well, are you allowed to do that, though? Write a check for more than whatever your buying costs? Like...
I know what you mean. Sure, they'll give you the difference in change. Save me a lot of book work, too.
Save me a lot of check writing, too.
Nearly every day, Luke Spears brings in 10 or 15 checks for 5 cents each.
He brings them in, does he?
Of course he does.
Every time I play that pinball machine down there, I have to write him a check for a nickel. And then I get the check all wrote out and cash. Somebody else is playing the pin machine there, and I have to stand around and wait.
Well, here's another pad of them checks. Just use them as sparingly as you can.
Yes, Mom, I will. I'll go over there right now and give him a check for $1 right this minute.
Yeah, that's the time, Cedric.
Much obliged.
That's all right, Cedric.
So long, Mr. Abner.
So long, Cedric.
Wait a minute. What are you doing down there in that safe, Abner?
Why, I was just down here.
Bring that box here. I told you we wasn't allowed to open that.
I weren't opening it. I was just looking at it. That's all I was doing.
Well, just hand it here. Hand it here.
Uh-oh.
Now look what you done. Dropped it and spilled all them papers out on the floor there.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. Looky here, Lum. There's a drawer in the bottom of this box. Look there.
Drawer?
Sure, it come open there when it hit the floor.
Let me see. Well, I'll be dead blamed.
Looky here, what's fell out of it, Lum. It's a little leather sack. Doggy, it's got something in it, too.
Let me see that thing. Something in there. I ain't supposed to do this, Abner, but I reckon being president of the bank, I better look in here and see if there's anything missing.
Yeah, well, I don't care what's in there. I want to find that map. That's what I
Granny, looky here, Abner.
Huh?
For the land's sakes, it's full of diamond rings and all kinds of jewelry. Here, quick, let's get this back in there.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. Just diamonds. I thought sure there'd be a map in there leading us to a treasury or something.
If you happen to be going out tonight or some night soon to a party or a get-together with your friends, be sure to check up on your supply of Alka-Seltzer tablets before you leave home. By taking this simple precaution, you may save yourself many an unpleasant moment. For Alka-Seltzer offers a world of relief for the headaches, the minor stomach upsets, and morning-after misery that frequently follow good times. That's why you should be sure your home supply of these analgesic alkalizing tablets is ample when your plans call for late hours, too much to eat and drink and smoke. So take a look in your medicine cabinet now. And if there are only a few Alka-Seltzer tablets in the package, get another from your druggist right away. You better get the large-sized package because it's far more economical.